Well, g'day curd nerds, or guten Tag curd nerds. Today we're going to be making, as promised, the Handkäse Mit Musik. This is the Australian version. It is a German version. I scoured the YouTubes for one of the more authentic versions of Handkäse Mit Musik. And this is what I've stumbled across, and hopefully it all turns out all okay. First of all, you need an onion, you need some apple cider vinegar, some vegetable oil or sunflower oil, dry cider or apple wine. This is hard apple cider, so we'll be using a bit of that. And of course, caraway seeds, very essential for Handkäse Mit Musik. So, without further ado, let's make some. It is served on sourdough rye bread, which I will show at the end, and hopefully it's a lot tasty. And you also serve it with some dry cider or apple wine, as they have in Germany. So, let me start preparing this beast. So first of all, obviously the onions. I'll put the two handkäse over here, out the way. Get all this stuff out the way. Okay. So they use white onions, as you can see. And we need to chop that into fine little pieces. These will be very, they're going to make me cry, I can tell. They're very strong. Oh, let's get rid of all this lot. One thing I didn't have was a bin. Okay, we're going to chop these up into small pieces. I'm not saying this is the correct way to chop up onions. This is the way Gav chops up onions. So I'm just slicing them from the length, and then we finally chop them on the ends, and we get little bits of onions, which is great. Always keeping your fingers out the way. And for the second half, so the onion creates the music, or the flatulence. This is going to be so much fun. We'll see how that turns out. I can report back in a community post as to whether the music in fact did occur. Oh, that's a bit strong. Let me just wipe that off. Oh. So into the bowl, we're going to add the apple cider vinegar. And we need 4 tablespoons. This is a half tablespoon measure. Eight. So apple cider vinegar is supposed to tame down the onions a little bit. We'll see what happens. Some oil. So you need 4 tablespoons of this as well. And as I said, I'm using a half tablespoon measure. I don't know where the full one is, it's gone. We need the cider. Okay, so we need 4 tablespoons of cider. There we go. I'll drink the rest of that later. Lovely. And then we need the caraway seeds. Some recipes had them in, some recipes had them on top. I'm going to put them in so we get a bit of flavour from this. and it says we need half a teaspoon, which is 1 teaspoon of caraway seeds. 1 teaspoon, yeah. There we go. That's in there. And that's about it. Let's just stir them up. So there's the marinade for the Handkäse with Music. The onions don't have to be finely chopped or anything. Oh, smelly. Right, so now we've stirred it all up, let's put the cheese in. So you put the cheese in whole, apparently. It's going to fit. Yeah, there we go. I'll cut them in half, actually. They're too big. Usually it's 1 cheese for 1 person. Oh, these are firm. There we go. And as you can see, there's the insides. Throw that in there. And I've got some other bits left over. Let's throw those in too. Let's just cut those, they're a bit big. Let's cut them in. Smells delicious. They're all in there. Stir it through a bit and try and kind of submerge them. Now I will stir these probably once or twice. Get them all in there. Get in there. So these are marinated then for in the kitchen fridge for at least 12 hours. So I'll come back tomorrow and shoot the second half of the video. And we'll have a taste of what Handkäse Mit Musik is like. I'm hoping something spectacular. So back the next day, and the Handkäse Mit Musik is marinated and ready to go. So what I'll need first of all is some sourdough bread. I've got a wholemeal sourdough loaf here that I'm going to slice up, and then I'll put some of the handkäse and the onion mixture on top of that, and we'll eat it and see how that goes. Now normally it's served with rye bread, sourdough rye bread, but I couldn't get any of that, so I had to opt for wholemeal. So I think that'll be sufficient. Just a couple of slices. There we go. Put that aside. Oh, it smells delicious actually. So I'll get my plate. And we'll put a couple of slices on there. You can put butter on the bread, but I'm not going to. A nice big fat handkäse on top. And maybe a smaller bit there. There's a spoon. Looks pretty good. So the proof, as always, is in the tasting. So just wipe my hand, get some of that oil off. Looks pretty good. So we'll have a piece. The handkäse is a little bit softer. Oh, hope it's not this hard. Sourdough bread is hard. Oh my God. That onion is very mellow. The onions, oh, it's just falling apart. Yeah. Right. It's really nice. Probably be better with a not so hard handkäse. Oh, and the onions. Let's try the smaller one, shall we? That's better, you can cut through it. And the bread sops up the oil and the onions and the cheese. Oh, it's delicious. Now, one thing I forgot to mention yesterday is that I put some pepper and salt into the marinade as well. I didn't show that on camera, but it certainly has helped add a little bit of, well, salt's a flavour enhancer, so yeah, a lot better. With a, good crack of pepper and a big pinch of salt, so yeah, that worked out really well. Now, I'll finish this off camera, but just to say that Handkäse Mit Musik, I don't know about the music, we'll find out later, but it is a delicious little meal. Good for lunches, I think. And I'm pretty sure around the Frankfurt area and definitely in the state of southern Hessian, so south of the state of Hessian, it is a very popular dish in pubs. So future Gav here, I'd just like to let you know that indeed the Handkäse Mit Musik was very musical. Indeed, it was one of the strangest 24 hours I've ever had after eating some cheese. I'll tell you what, maybe it was onions, I think, not the cheese. Now, one funny thing is that in German, grandfather, which I am one, of some German children, my grandchildren, funny about that, go figure, the name is, that they call me, is Großvater. I think that's how you pronounce it, that's what they called me anyway. But yes, it's just funny that in English, grandfather, me, is pronounced Großvater. Very funny. Anyway, back to present Gav. So, there you go. Handkäse mit Musik. Delicious little snack. Great for lunch. And normally served with apple wine or a dry apple cider. So, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. If you want to pick up any of the ingredients to make handkäse, you can do that over at littlegreenworkshops.com.au. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.